All right, guys, welcome back to another edition of Lawyered Up. I'm Jared Moore, and if you're out there and you're watching this and you're feeling a little bit of anxiety, don't worry, we're not in court today. So, with that being said, on tonight's program, it should be a short one. If you guys have any questions or cases or anything like that you want me to look up, just as usual, post them in the chat and I'll take a look at them. Tonight we've got three things, and all three of these things were tips that were called in to me by citizens. So I wanted to highlight each of these and talk a little bit about them and give everybody a heads up on them, because they were things that I didn't know about, but citizens did know about it. So they gave me the heads up and I was able to do some follow-up on them. So the first on our list, and I'm going to go ahead and pop it up here. I was talking on the phone with a citizen who said, "Hey, did you see Representative Joseph Hicks' apology?" And I said, "No, I hadn't seen that. Where is that?" And they said, "Well, it happened at the end of the August 26th National Council regular session." So I went and checked it out. And now you guys are going to get to check it out too. And by the way, if you see here on the computer, on YouTube, the Mvskoke Creek Nation National Council does have a YouTube channel, and you guys can go there and subscribe it, and they post all of their meetings and committee meetings and everything there, so you'll get an update every time they post something. And if you want to watch it live, you need to go to the National Council's website, which is the mcnnc.com. Okay, so with that being said, let's listen to Representative Joseph Hicks' apology at the council meeting.
Speaker,
Representative Joseph Hicks.
may I come up to your podium?
Yes, sir. Please come up, Representative Hicks.
Hello. Just so everybody knows, this is something that's been a while coming, but it needed to be, I needed to get right before I could do this. As I stand before you today, I'd like to make a statement to openly and honestly speak on an issue that has affected my life and inadvertently those around me. Recently, I have been struggling with some of my own personal struggles and demons linked to PTSD from my time in service, which lead me to seek comfort in alcohol and as many more that have come before me. I'd like to express my deepest apologies to my family, who it affected the most. Also to any others that were affected by my actions. I understand that this behavior did not only affect my image, but theirs also, along with how persons outside of our tribe look at our citizens, and for that I am truly sorry. I take and have taken full responsibility for my actions, and I realized the need for help and change. I am and have taken proactive steps to get help, and I did seek inpatient treatment as one of the steps, which even at that time, I still didn't quit working. I was still trying to work for my people, which has helped me to better manage these challenges. I am grateful and hope for your understanding and patience as I embark on this journey of healing and recovery. For those facing similar struggles, know you're not alone, and seeking help is not a sign of weakness but strength. Thank you for understanding and your support during this challenging time. Please remember, seeking professional help is crucial when dealing with PTSD, alcohol, or drug-related issues. You're not alone, and there are resources available that will help provide help. Hello.
Representative Hicks, well said.
All right, guys, so that was Representative Hicks's apology there. If you want to check that video out for yourself, it's the August 26th, 2023 National Council regular session, and that's on the National Council's YouTube channel. So I agree there, better late than never. All right, so that was the first tip that I had gotten. Here's the next one. So I got a phone call from a citizen who said that they had found out that the Mvskoke Creek Nation was behind on some audits. Okay, so let's take a look at this story. MCN falls behind on tribal audits, and this is on our website at mvskokemedia.com. Mvskoke Media received a tip from a concerned citizen concerning the status of required internal audits of the Mvskoke Creek Nation financial system. The citizen had contacted their MCN National Council representative to learn more about the status of these audits and were told the audits were late to be filed. Mvskoke Media contacted MCN National Council Speaker Will Lowe to find out if the council had been informed of the situation. Speaker Lowe stated that both he and Chief Hill were given a quick update on the audits on August 14th. Lowe included a quote from an email he had received from MCN Controller Patricia Killian. Quote, "The fiscal year 20 is complete and the fiscal year 21 should be completed by next week. We have been preparing for the fiscal year 22 audit as we were working on 21. We hope to be caught up with the fiscal year 23 audit." And then the next part of the story is quoting the MCN Code Title 37, Subchapter 6, that deals with MCN audits. And it basically says, each audit is required by this act shall be completed and the audit report thereon shall be submitted by the auditor to the National Council within 12 months after the close of the fiscal year of the nation. So basically what we're saying here is that the audits are late, and that's a violation of code. Okay. There's another wrinkle to this I'm going to get with the next citizen tip on our list here. But the first thing I wanted to ask you guys as citizens, and I'm not proposing an answer here. I'm asking you guys a legitimate question to mull over in your mind. We've got a situation here where the tribe passed code that requires audits of the financial system to be done by a certain date, right? And these audits don't look like they've been done by this specific date. So what's the solution here? Do we want the Attorney General to try to file some type of case in court? And would that even happen, seeing as how the AG and the Controller are both in the executive branch? Would that even be possible? Because I think the AG would have to represent the Controller. There seems to be a conflict there. And is that going to make the audits get done faster? I don't know. So I just wanted to posit that with you guys and point out that problem and ask you, what can we do? How can we fix these types of situations and keep them from happening in the future? I don't know if a punitive measure is going to work out, and then other than, voting, and then later you get a different chief or something, or whoever, second chief or whoever, and hope that person does it the way that it's supposed to be done. I mean, that seems like a long way off for a solution. Now, our third tip that I got was after this story was published, I got a call from a different citizen that said, "Hey, I saw the audit story. Did you know that you can go on a federal website and see these audits when they get turned in?" And I said, "No, I didn't know that." So they gave me the information, and that's our third link here. I'm going to pop it up. So this is facweb.census.gov. It's the Federal Audit Clearinghouse. So if you go here, and guys, I see you posting there in the chat. I'm going to get to your questions and everything in just a minute. If you go to this website, you can see over here on the side it says Find Audit Information. Let's click that. Okay? And then this page comes up. Yada, 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 a bunch of boilerplate. So let's search for single audits. So let's search. We're going to click these. Let's see, general information. So we got to put some information in here to search with. The auditee is who I'm concerned with. That would be us. So I'm going to put Mvskoke Creek Nation. And then I'm going to hit enter. Let's see what we get, guys. So we got to click this button here that says we acknowledge and understand these guidances or whatever they are. Continue to search results. All right. So they found 4 records. And here they are. Now you may be asking yourself, what the heck is this? So I believe that what this is when you file for government grants or government funding or and things like the COVID money or things, you have to file audits with them in order so they know that your books are okay. And I think that that's what these are. You can see the Mvskoke Creek Nation is the auditee name, so they got audited. And this is where we are. And then this next column here is the fiscal year end date. So it's saying when that fiscal year ended. At the Creek Nation, the fiscal year ends in September and a new one starts October 1st. So you can see here 9/30/2020, 9/30/2019, and so on. Now the thing that's interesting on these is if you look at these previous years, right, you can see at the bottom 9/30/2017. So that would be the fiscal year for 2017. And then this MLD start date is 6/5/2018. So that's when they started it, or when they started analyzing to check the audit on the federal side. And this is when the federal government received the audit. So it's 6/1/2018. So that's within the 12-month window that they needed to turn it in. And then the next year it's the same deal, 9/30/2018. So this is the fiscal year 2018 audit. And then the federal government received it on 6/29/2019. Okay, business as usual. Up here we've got the 2019 fiscal year audit, and the government received it on December 2020. So they received it, no problem. When we get up here, we see that this is the 2020 fiscal year, and then there's a 2-year gap now. So they received the 2020 on 8/4/2022. The 2021 isn't on here. The 2021 audit isn't on here. The 2022 audit isn't on here, and obviously the 2023 audit isn't on there because we're not in that window of 12 months after the end of the fiscal year for them to even turn it on. Or turn it in. So let me pop myself back up. Okay, so why is this on here? Why are we talking about this, Jared? So the previous story we were talking about violations of code. With this, because these audits are late, it could have an effect on whether the tribe can file for grant funding or COVID monies and other things going from here on out. It could have already affected something. I haven't found that out yet, but it's something to keep an eye on. And if you want to go here and check this stuff, that's what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of months to see. I believe, according to some of the informational facts that are on this website, right up here, there is like some deadlines that are coming up to turn in some of these audits, right? So there were some delays because of various things like COVID and stuff, but I believe by the end of this month they've got to get 2022 turned in, so we'll see if that happens. Okay, let me take a look at what you guys got going on into the chat. Mado to that citizen for keeping an eagle eye on things. Yes, TY Pro. And you guys out there, this program and stuff, I'm here for citizens and to look into things that you don't have time to look in. If you hear about something, give me a call at my phone number, send me an email, send me a message on YouTube, send a message to us on our Facebook. We'll get right on it. Creek Pride 23, was his apology part of his sentence or a precondition to his upcoming DUI sentence? Also, has he scheduled yet to be on your YouTube Meet the Candidates program? Okay, so here's where we are with his Meet the Candidate video. I spoke to Joseph Hicks on the phone. He said he wants to do it. He just hasn't, and he's gotten my email, my scheduling email. He just hasn't had time in his schedule to be able to do it yet, so we'll see. As far as this being a precondition to his upcoming sentencing or anything like that, it's a possibility that he has some agreement with the judge to reduce his fines or probation or something based on a public apology. I don't know for sure. When I looked through the paperwork last time, I didn't see that. But in his case, which he's already been, the second DUI, he's already pled no contest to, he did get some fines and stuff, and there is another court hearing scheduled in his case. Let me see if I can bring it up, and I'll show you guys real quick. Let me pop that up. Let's go to creekdistrictcourt.com. We will go to court calendar, then we will go to login, and then we will search by party, and then we will find Hicks Joseph. We're going to scroll down here. You'll see that this 2023-092 is disposed, and then we have this 2022-063 is pending now. This was his, I believe, his previous charge. If we look here on the ROA, there is an entry of appearance and stuff, and these dates are all from this month. See, 8/23. There's been a journal entry. So I think that, and you can see up here, he's sentenced to probation, probation conditions, rules of probation. So I think that that's what's happened. Is it's possible that he's been had some agreement with the court that he would make a public apology, and so, but I don't know for sure. Let's see here. We need more citizens to pay attention to things like this. We do, absolutely, T.Y. Prohl. Creek Pride 23, I am very confused. David Hill sat on National Council for 12 years, now chief. He has offered any explanation on his form excuse for these 3 non-compliances mandated by law. Well, let's go back to our story. Mvskoke Media contacted MCN controller Patricia Killian to ascertain why these audits had been delayed and obtain a copy of the audits, but had not received a response at the time of the publishing of this article. That is still true as to today. Also, we have contacted the executive branch through I believe it's the press secretary, Jason Salzman, and we haven't received a response from him either. So we have no information from the executive branch, whether it's an explanation of the situation or copies of audits or anything like that. That's also why I wanted to point out to you guys this website. Let me back up here a little bit. Go back. Sorry. Well, let's go. This facweb.census.gov, because it's probably going to be the case that this is the first place that any information is going to pop up. Okay, let's keep going through these comments. Are there not any penalties or other enforcement measures already written into the code? Well, that's the thing, is if you're violating the code, you're already in violation of the code. As far as criminal penalties or penalties, I don't believe that the code says anything. This is the whole section here. They are required to do it, and if they don't do it, I believe it'd be a civil lawsuit. Like, for instance, in this instance, there's nothing to stop a citizen from filing a civil lawsuit against the controller's office and trying to get into court on this to get something done. They're going to sovereign immune out of any of those types of suits, so that's a problem. And the real issue here, and not to get too civics preachy on everybody, but if we think about tripartite government, where we have the legislature, we have the judicial branch, and we have the executive branch, right? So everybody knows the legislature passes the laws. The judicial branch judges what the laws means and everything. And then the executive branch executes the laws. So prosecutions and those types of things, that code enforcements come out of the executive branch. The judicial branch interprets what the code says and tries to apply the penalties and everything that are in those laws. And then, so it's like when the executive branch is violating the code and not, it's like they're not doing what they're supposed to do. They're not executing the code. And that's the whole purpose of the branch. So, but it's also like, how do you check and balance that when they're the ones that are supposed to be doing that particular check and balance? Let's move on down here. Creek Pride 23, do you really think that we have a clear and accurate understanding of the MCN financial health? I don't know that we do. And I wanted to point one more thing out. Let me see if I can get back to where I was. This is something that I recommend any citizens do. Let me pop this up. Let's search again. I'm going to go through the whole process again. You go here, Mvskoke Creek Nation. Let's search. Go ahead, search. Now look, some of these we can download. See, like for instance, fiscal year 2019, we can click that. It downloads. Let's take a look at it. So here it is. This is the financial audit of the Creek Nation for 2019. I am wading through this stuff and reading it all, and when the new audits get posted, I'm going to do the same thing for them. But if you're a citizen and you want to know anything about any of this stuff, go in and check this out. This is great information, and there's some of this stuff that is a little bit weird. Like, for instance, sources of revenue here. I just happened to scroll down to it. I'm going to highlight this. Sources of revenue. Look, we have gaming distributions, $90.1 million in fiscal year 2019. In fiscal year 2018, it was $101 million. Now, I'm going to bring up the reason I wanted to, we're not to use a colloquialism, we're kind of leaving the reservation now, guys, but I did want to show you guys something else in relation to this. NIGC, yeah, this thing. So we're going to go to the National Indian Gaming Commission, okay? And then let's see here, where is that thing? Compliance, maybe it's this one. Okay, so now this is for fiscal year 2022, but what would be interesting to look at would be this. So what is this that I'm showing you? And like I said, we're going a little bit off topic, but this is the gross gaming revenue report for all the Indian casinos in North America. Okay, it doesn't break them down into specific, like single casinos, but it does show the graphs of what the total take is, and then it breaks them down by region. So we can see right here on this chart, or I don't know if you guys can actually see that or not. Hold on, let me get rid of this thing and zoom in a little bit. Fiscal year 2019, the total take for all the casinos in North America for the Indians was $34.6 billion, right? So it would be an interesting exercise, and one of the things that I'm doing is go back once these audits are published and go back to 2019 and see, how did we make only $90 million for 2019 when our percentage should be larger from 34.6 billion. Billion is like a lot bigger than a million. So that's one of the things that I'm working on, and this is all public information. Once it gets put on the federal side, once the tribe has to file it with them, we can get our hands on it, and I'll be taking a look at that in the future. Okay, let me go on down. We'll work our way through some of these. Are these available for MBN? I think you mean MNBE and OneFire. I do not know if these audits include the specific departments. It kind of has it broken down into things like here, if we look at this particular audit, sources of revenues, they have grants and contracts, they have gaming distributions, they have taxes, they have investment income, and then they have other, whatever other is, maybe that's MNBE and OneFire. I don't know. Let's go on. I'm going to go on down here a little bit further. So these very late audits are now being hurriedly prepared. Do you think MCN citizens might expect errors, exclusions, or any other omissions? I don't know. I think, and I'm not for sure, but the controller's office, I think, contracts with outside agencies to do this. So that's one of the things that's kind of weird that it's late, because I don't think that the nation does this themselves. I think that they have outside auditors come in and do it, but I'm not for sure on that. Don't hold me to that. That's just my theory, because they have a line item for their contracts Oh, and by the way, guys, today was also budget hearing day, and that'll be posted to the National Council's YouTube channel pretty soon, those budget hearings. Our Mvskoke Media's budget was passed through committee, and now it's going to go to the full council. Just an update on that. Let me go on down these questions here. We're getting close to wrap time. Off topic, but please do a lawyered up on the Oklahoma Indian Welfare Act, the 3 tribal towns organized under it in Mvskoke Nation boundaries, and the legal battles between them and the Mvskoke Nation over the years. I think that is a great idea, T.Y. Pro. And, you know, there's also some wrinkles in there with dual enrollment that could be covered that are very interesting. T.Y. Pro says, come on, guys, be accountable. At least respond to media inquiries as elected officials. Damn it. Absolutely. The funny thing to me about this, or it's not funny, it's messed up, but the thing that I find strange about this is that from the media perspective, we're just trying to get the citizens information, and any explanation or copies of this stuff that Chief's office could get out to citizens is going to help him, you know, politically in the eyes of citizens. To not make any comments and not even say anything, respond to any of these inquiries, it just damages him, you know, even beyond the problem with the late audits already. So I don't understand that myself. TY Pro, are the audits performed internally or are they prepared by a third party? I think they're a third party. I haven't confirmed that because, like I said, we haven't gotten anything from the controller's office. But the controller's office does have money in a line item in their budget for external contracts. So maybe that's what that's for. TY Pro says, in the first graph shown about gaming that shows investment income, MNBE and OneFire or something else. That I don't know. Also, they could be in the other category that's on there. If you got, let me pop that up for you guys while I'm talking here. TY Pro says, that's about as clear as mud by design, I'm guessing. Do better, y'all. Well, I would say to that, there is one more thing we could look at. Where is that? Mvskoke Creek Nation quarterly report. Let's see. I'm pretty sure we can get this online. Yeah, here we go. So they also, Okay, guys. Let me go back so you can see. There used to be, I guess there was a link at one time because I clicked on it where it was, this is the Mvskoke Nation, and you see documents, and here you can see quarterly reports, 2023 fiscal year 2023 third quarter, and so on. And you click on it. Sorry, could not be found. So never mind. Let's see if we can see the fiscal year 2022 one. Okay, here we go. So they are publishing some, this is old, but there are some, the nation had been publishing quarterly reports, and you could compare and contrast it. See, so here's the gaming distributions. Now this information is coming from the administration. So you can see there's a breakdown here of the amounts coming in from these different casinos, okay? And you could take that and compare it to the audits that are being turned in. So the audits that we were looking at, those are what the information they're giving to the federal government. And the federal government is probably not going to require them to parse that information too finely. But it would. One of the things I'm going to do is go through these quarterly reports and compare the federal audits with these quarterly reports, and hopefully all these numbers match up, and we'll see what happens while we're waiting on the 2022 and 2023 or 2021 and 2022 audits to be posted because they're not on here yet. So, all right. Do you guys have any more questions about any of the stuff I've shown you? I can try to answer them. If you got any more tips, you can post them in the chat. Or if you want to, you can email me at the letter J, Moore, Moore, at mvskokemedia.com. And that's Mvskoke, just like the title of our channel. You can call me at 918-732-7742. That's my office number. Just leave a voicemail if you don't get me, and I will get back at you. we're going to have some more coverage about these audits and everything else. There are some court dates. Travis Scott's court date is going to be in October at the end of the month. We still do not have a decision in the Friedman case, so that's still out there. The Oklahoma Supreme Court still has not scheduled any hearings on the Strobel tax case, so that's still out there. There's a whole bunch of stuff still floating around, and there's also a case that I'm looking into. I haven't got enough information. I haven't run it down in Pacer yet, but there is supposed to be a different Friedman case that's been filed in, I think, the Eastern District of Oklahoma on the federal level. So I'm still hunting that one down. I've got some information, but I haven't been able to find the actual case yet to bring you guys some documents. But I'll bring them to you as soon as I can get them. All right. Well, thanks, TY Pro. Mado, you guys. I'm going to get out of here tonight. Oh, it's Labor Day weekend. You guys go out there and have fun, okay? And not too much fun, though, because I don't want to get you guys all lawyered up. All right. See you guys later.